Hi, I'm Pat Baer, and this is Pat Baer's Anime Club. It's an ongoing video series where every other Monday I take a look at something from the world of anime that I want to chat with you about. It could be a deep dive, it could be a recap. In this particular case, we're talking about Isekai. I have been doing this for the past, I don't know how, couple years, like 3 years now, where every season I talk about all of the Isekai that is coming out for that season. I'll let you know if I'm watching it, if I might watch it, or if I'm going to skip it. All seven fall 2024 Isekai here. We have a lot of repeats. We've got, by repeats, I mean further seasons. We have, let's see, 2 season 3s, and then 1, 2, 3 season 2s, and then 2 actually unique, interesting shows that are new and fresh. Now, again, this is not what you should watch and what you should skip and what you should definitely not watch. This is what I am going to be watching, what I might watch, and what I'm definitely skipping. And I'll go into the reasons why, and you can use your own judgment there. We got 7 here, which is, we'll talk some statistics, because some people were like, oh, finally, Isekai's done. And it's lower than it's been in a while, and it's lower than this past summer's season, but we'll talk about it. I don't think we're done. I just think that's just the current number here is not, I don't think is indicative of that. So let's go into it right now with Ari Ferretta from Commonplace to World's Strongest. So generally, I would say I'm not watching this because the main character is an edgelord. And so I would say, don't go back. This is season 3. Don't go back, watch season 1 and 2. The animation's kind of cool, and sometimes the CGI is terrible, but for the most part, it's fine looking. The main character is a real edgelord, and I'm generally not into that right now as far as my main characters go, but he's mellowed out a lot. By the time we get to season 3, which is, I believe, only 11 episodes, that seems perfect. We're focusing on minor characters that I like, very minor characters that I like, of the bunny people, and they're overthrowing a government, which seems fun and could lead to some good nonsense. The reason I like this show in particular is the supporting cast, from the should be the main character in another story, heroine, down to the, as we see in this image here, over here, the ageless vampire who was saved by our main character and decided, like, well, that's my life mate now. Various lovely ladies. It's a harem show. He's got cool powers, and he does care, even if he's really gruff. It's nothing. I'm going to keep watching because I'm pot committed. You know how it is. Demon Lord Retry R. This is the sequel follow-up series to Demon Lord Retry, which is an anime I really like the premise of. We've seen Overlord and various isekai where the main character was playing a video game and then became that video game character in a fantasy world. And generally, they are fantasy characters, like anything from liches to undead skeletons to warriors, whatever. Kuma Kuma Baer is that, where it's now a fantasy world, but she was an adventurer in that world as well, and now she's a magic user adventurer who wears a bear costume. In Demon Lord, and then Retry, and then I guess Demon Lord Retry R, our main character was playing like a fantasy cyberpunk video game, akin to like GTA Online meets Cyberpunk, the 20 whatever. And now he's in a fantasy world. And I find that cool. That's a fun twist on it. Now, I have been told, based on the manga, which I have not read, and the one episode of the series I've seen so far, that this is far less horny than Demon Lord Retry was. And it is so far less horny than the previous season. The supporting cast is mixed at best. He's fun because he is kind of aggressive in getting what he wants, especially once he realizes how he was summoned and what he was summoned for, and the reasons behind that, and his general distaste for that. There's some fun things where he summons a couple NPCs from his world who are now full-fledged real people, and that's an interesting change and experience. So I'm going to watch this. Do I think you should go back and watch Demon Lord retry and then watch R? Probably not. You probably shouldn't, but I will. Here's our first new show of 2 new seasons. And again, I'll become a villainess who goes down in history. And this is an Otome game villainous story where our main character is... she liked the villain in this game. She woke up in that world. She is the villain, and she's fucking psyched about it. It is not one of those like, oh, I have to change my ways and change who I am because I want to avoid the bad ending. No, she's just like, okay, I'm the villain. It's cool. I'm going to gain strength and figure things out. And it seems like in shoujo kind of style, the various men, as we can see in here, both her brothers, all her older brothers, and then also all of the main love interests from the game, all kind of think she's great. And her attempts to be a villainess, I think, are going to backfire. From the 2 episodes I've watched, that seems to be where we're headed, is that things aren't going to work out the way she would like, but it'll be a happy ending kind of a thing. I like this a lot. I think it is really fun. Looks great. Maybe he's a little bland in the first 2 episodes, but I think it could pick up. And I like the main character a lot. So I'm watching this one. And I would also say, maybe you should check it out. Yeah, this might be one that you would want to watch. So, ReZero, Starting Life in Another World Season 3. Again, I'm committed now. But I'll say this. I didn't get into this show when it first aired. Subaru was not what I wanted to watch. I did not want to watch a underpowered main character. I was when that show first aired, I was not interested in that subgenre of the subgenre of Isekai. I was looking for an overpowered main character, not an underpowered one. He just seemed like a whiny dude in a tracksuit, and I wasn't into that. Now, there's much more to the character. There are layers that I have now really zoned in on, and I appreciate Subaru as a man trying to do his goddamn best, where for most of the series, most of the seasons, his only real ability is when he dies, he resets and he could try again. ReZero, as you said. And like, yeah, there's something compelling about that. Also, ton of best girls in this show, ton of best boys, great characters. We start season 3 with one of my favorite characters from season 2, just trying to be... There's a thing in wrestling where sometimes heel characters become babyface characters, but they don't change anything. And that's the case for this one, Tiger Man, where he is like not at all different than he was as a minor antagonist, but now he's on the good guy team. So he's just like that, but he's now just like a lieutenant in a Yakuza group kind of vibe to it, which I really like. There's a lot of great characters in ReZero. I can't convince you to watch it if you haven't gotten into it, but I really like the show, and I'm psyched about it. And then, okay, Seri Gensoki Spirit Chronicles Season 2. I will be referring to this as Spirit Chronicles. So this one, I actually think you should go back and watch the first season, because I think that there's something really fun about this fantasy show. I think one of the twists of this one that I really, really like is our main character is a guy that suddenly gains memories of his previous life in a place in Japan. But our main character is still the guy from the fantasy world. It doesn't rewrite his previous life. It's a mesh of the two, but he's mostly just like, oh, now I have these interesting memories, and there's some kind of fate linking me with some people, which we're probably going to find out more in season 2. And there's a minor character who also was a reincarnation, but she doesn't have those memories. She knows she was a reincarnation. She doesn't have a lot of memories because she was young. This show has cool magic systems, cool fights. As the season 1 goes in, we get more backstory about our guy from Japan, but also our guy from this fantasy world. And I like that. I like that it isn't just like, oh yeah, I used to live in Japan and now I'm here. It's like, oh, my life was hell. My mom was murdered basically in front of me. I've learned more things about this world now. Also, I have knowledge from a technology advanced world, Japan in America, Japan on Earth. You get what I'm saying. I don't know. I think this is clever and cool. I am surprised we got a season 2. It has been a while. I watched the last 2 episodes of season 1 to prep for this. I'm going to be watching this. I probably won't watch it weekly. I'm probably going to let some episodes build up, but I'm definitely invested in this particular series. Now into the one maybe. I might keep watching this. I've watched the first episode. I might keep at it. Loner Life in Another World. So this manga is still ongoing. It's hundreds of chapters. It's 200 and something chapters. This story will not end. I don't know why it's still going, but it is. It is a occasionally slice of life, but mostly action adventure isekai, of course, where an entire classroom of people got summoned to a fantasy world, and our character got all the scrap abilities, no major power, but that's fine. And he gets kind of by his own decision, leaves the group. He goes off. He's like, oh, I'm weak, whatever. I'll just go on my own. But he's a loner. That's the whole reason why he got his powers late. And he thrives. And of course, he doesn't stay alone for the whole thing, because honestly, that would be fucking cool if it was just it's just a survival show and there's just one character that we see. It's not that he interacts with a bunch of people. It's kind of fun because he doesn't know anyone's names, so he just has nicknames for them based on what they did, what sport they were in, or class president, or whatever. And he's got Jock A, Jock B. It's kind of interesting. He doesn't eventually know a few people's names, but mostly he doesn't know anything. And I thought the animation looked fine. This one was a manga I read, and then once the major arc, which I didn't even think they're going to get through. I can't imagine in 13 or 12, maybe 13, but 12 episodes, they're going to get to the end of the first arc. But once I finished the first main story arc, I just kind of lost interest eventually. I think I read the second one, and then it was just oh, God, okay, yeah. But you might like it. I don't know. I'm just I might catch up on it at the end of the season. I don't know. But if I don't end up watching this show, I'm not going to feel bad about it. And then the show I'm not watching this season, which honestly you might want to check out, is as a reincarnated aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skill to rise in the world, season 2. The way they did this logo here, it reads as a reincarnated, I'll use my aristocrat appraisal skill to rise in the world, which is not the title. It's as a reincarnated aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skill to rise in the world, season 2. I didn't finish season 1. That's why I'm not watching it. That's why I know I'm not going to watch it, because to watch it, I guess I could just pick it up, but that's not me. That's not how I roll. Maybe that's how you roll. But you start with season 2 because you're whatever. He figured some stuff out. They'll reintroduce the characters. I'll pick it up. But yeah, it's a guy with limited abilities. He's got appraisal, and he's going to use appraisal to avoid people that he doesn't want to work with and surround himself with diamonds in the rough. Give them a chance to shine because he can see what other people can't see. It's a pretty fun story. I read, I think maybe 8 or 9 chapters of the manga and kind of lost interest. And then I watched maybe 2 or 3 episodes of the anime and kind of lost interest. But the first season didn't come out that long ago. So it must have done well, which is cool. And we want shows to do well. And if you watch the first season, of course, you know if you're going to watch the second or not. Now, that's all 7. And we got through this pretty fast here. And I know I saw a few people say oh wow, there wasn't much isekai last season. There was only 5 or 6, and there's not much this season. Well, I can tell you, because I've been doing this now for a while, isekai are top loaded in the year. So let's see. So all spring 2023. All fall 2023 isekai 8. There were 8 last fall. This summer, there were 8. But at the beginning of the year, there were 10 in the winter and 11 in the spring. So it is increasing. Fall 2022, there were only 5 isekai in fall 2022. So 2 years later, we're up 2 from that year and down 1 from the previous year. So it's just that the isekai all come in the beginning of the year. That's what it is. Winter 2023 was 11, so that's the same year drop of 1 from year to year. Just kind of looking through here. I didn't write how many on 2022 for the spring. 10 this winter, as I said. 7 in 2022 for the summer. Let's see if there's any other ones that. I think I've only been doing this since 2022. That I started actually talking about every season. They would always be in my recommendations, and in fact, at least one of these here will be in my fall 2024 recommendations, which will probably be my next video. I don't know. It'll be one of the next ones because I always like to do it. It might be my next episode, but it might be one of the other ideas I have. But just so you know, even though it's less than it was for the spring or winter of 2024, that's a thing that happens. Generally, these guys are coming out early in the year. There was even announcements, because now we're getting announcements for next season and the season after that. So winter 2025, I believe there's already several. Actually, here's a fun thing I can do. I can look that up on AnyChart. AnyChart will let me know. Let's see. We're going to do 2025, and we're going to go to winter 2025. Right now, there are 4 Isekai already announced. And looking at it, there's like one I know I'm going to watch. I know there's a sequel. I believe it's spring next year. We're getting another season of the I've Been Killing Slimes for 300 Years show, which I loved. I thought that show was fantastic. So that's coming out sometime next year, I know. Yes, that's spring next year. So already in the spring, we already know we have one. And the summer, there is one coming. It's an ONA. So I guess, that isn't a Sky, but may not be a full series, it seems like. Let's see what this is. It's a Chinese ONA. So next summer. So there'll probably be more, is what I'm saying. Hey, if you were like, thank God we're finally getting rid of Isekai. No, just this time of year, there are less Isekai out there for whatever reason. That's the choice. But that is all 7 fall 2020 Isekai, and that's this episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club. I try to keep the one directly after my 2-hour plus episode a little tighter. What are we looking at here? Yeah, we're under 20 minutes. That's great. So, thanks for watching the video. Hit the like button if you liked it. Hit the like button if you didn't like it, if you want to do that. Or you can hit the dislike button, I guess. Share with a friend if you want to do that. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Take a look at the Shorts tab, because every single Wednesday throughout the entire year 2024, I have been recommending anime. Pat Baer's series, my series, Pat Baer's Anime Club is this show, and I have Kuma Baer, which is your weekly anime recommendation. And I talk about Isekai. I've talked about every month I have a different topic. And then this current month, October, that we're currently in, I'm talking about my favorite shows from the summer season. Maybe some of those shows will be shows that I recommended. Maybe not. I don't know. You can watch it and find out. Thank you so much for watching this video, though. Leave a comment on if you're going to watch any of these Isekai, or if you have seen them before and you're like, you do not get me again, Demon Lord retry. And then also, I guess, let me know, hey, do you have any ideas for videos you'd like to see? Not just like, oh, Pat, you should do something. It's like, there's actually something you want to see. Do you want to see another weird manga recommendation? Do you want my good anime filler video, because I did the worst anime filler? Or do you want a part 2 of worst anime filler? Because I got more. Because there's series I didn't even talk about in that one. So, I got more for you. Let me know. I would love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.